Hello, welcome. This is our studio, and this is the sorted aperitivo hour. So the perfect time for us to gather two normal home cooks to have a taste of a few kind of really delicious, hopefully inspiring, cheesy recipes with Granapadano at the heart of it. So you guys are already tuning in from all over the world. We can see that. Keep the comments coming in. Where are you tuning in from? If it is appropriate aperitivo hour, you might have an aperitif. Yeah. You might not. You might have a cup of tea. It might be breakfast time.
It's the weather for it, though, isn't it?
It's lovely.
I find most
How many
evenings now.
hours of aperitivo hours do you have in a day?
I feel like generally, and it's not an hour, it's a bit like the happy hour, which is one of Britain's best exports, right? You can go anywhere in the world, it's a happy hour. The aperitivo hour is just slightly more civilised, and it lasts 2, maybe 3 hours.
What is an aperitif?
Something to get your stomach excited. It literally means to open your appetite.
Okay.
I've got one more question, Ebbers. Who decided you could have a plinth?
I like a thing, because that way I've got everyone's comments here, and I can see that people are coming from Taiwan, and from Korea, and from the Netherlands, and from Germany, and from South Africa, in Cape Town specifically. I can see all the comments here. That's why I have a plinth.
It gives you more of an air of authority, and I don't like it. But I do want dinner.
Well, that's good, because we're going to work through an entire meal. This video is sponsored by Granapadano, and we've worked with them for a couple of years now, and a couple of weeks ago I went to Taste of London to get loads more summer inspiration, and hopefully there's lots of things you can take out of this to use in your summer cooking.
It wasn't about any inspiration, it was about the free tasters. that's why you were there.
The masterclass there, and in partnership with like the Prosecco, are so good.
Yeah,
the cheese masterclass.
Really hard work to get inspiration there.
It was a very hot day. Right, cheers.
Aperitivo.
Cheers, cheers.
We have 4 things under the cloche. We'll address them individually. If you have any comments about what we're eating, how it was made, or other suggestions of how you can use Granapadano, we would love to hear them. But boys, open the first cloche.
You guys are getting a literal live version of how these cloche formats work.
You'll
even see us have to turn around and not look at the next one being cloche. It's going to be fun.
It's rusty. Let's
go.
Are you ready? Yep. Oh.
Surprise number 1.
Oh, I thought they were tomatoes. They are strawberries.
They're strawberries with cheese in them.
It's cheesy. Oh, there's more in it.
So like I said,
juice.
A 1 mouthful, and it should hit you.
No,
yeah,
that's
it should
weird.
hit you hard with fragrance and sweetness of strawberry. There's a little surprise inside, and then that really nutty, creamy umami of Granapadano, which we've grated into it.
Just checking, we're not playing poker face, are we?
No.
Good.
But it is supposed to be a 1 mouthful, open, excite your mouth.
So, on paper, and for the 3 things that I learned about food in my last 15 years here, I can understand kind of how this works, but it still feels
wrong,
odd to do, doesn't it?
I'm scared. I'm nervous of what's wet inside. Let's go for it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And there's the first reaction. We can't edit out any bad words, so all you're allowed to say is nice things. Oh wow is a good one.
It doesn't taste anything like cheese.
Is that balsamic in there?
It's got a little bit of balsamic vinegar.
It tastes so smooth.
A wonderful fresh strawberry, which we've hollowed out, and then loads of finely grated Granapadano, which gives you that kind of umami, salty creaminess.
So the salt, you're left with a flavour almost as if you've just eaten strawberries and cream with a little bit of salty, dare I say, funk. Like something interesting at the end. But at no point did I think I'm eating a strawberry filled with Granapadano.
I feel that is ticking every box of what
I'm going to have another one.
A well-balanced meal should be. Sweet, tick. The salty bit, tick. Umami, tick. And then the vinegar, tang as well.
Yep.
Right? You feel that is a full experience, and I wouldn't expect it from that.
Brendan here is saying the real test, will they go back for a second? Mike already has, Baz has gone for a second. The beautiful thing about this is you can make loads of them quite a way ahead, as long as you scoop out the inside and leave the bottom intact, but a little drop of balsamic in, then some of the cheese, and you're all absolutely right, that fruit and cheese combo is so common, maybe at the end of the meal, on a cheese board. You might well have grapes, or an apple chutney, or a mango chutney even, but strawberry, a wonderful combination. What do you think?
It doesn't taste of strawberry.
It doesn't taste the cheese.
You're
right in your description in that it is the perfect amount of balance between almost every area of taste on your tongue.
That's really clever.
It is really clever.
I think
you must have stolen this from Taste.
Be honest, Danilo, so an amazing Italian chef who's been the ambassador there for ages, he ran a lot of the masterclasses, and I just said, what's your one flavour pairing that people don't expect? And he said, have you ever tried strawberry and Granapadano? And he made a sweet strawberry risotto that had cheese in it as well. And it was, again, that sweet, savoury combination, a phenomenal recipe. And I thought, actually, as an aperitivo start, what could we do? So often it's little things on toast or on bread.
Why is Danilo not here?
He lives in Italy.
If that was a tomato, it wouldn't be weird.
No, cheese and tomato classic.
But just because it's a strawberry, it's throwing us. But the strawberry's doing the exact same job as a tomato.
I love
in colour and flavour.
How simple it is. Ratio-wise, let me know.
So I think ratio-wise is obviously important, but it will depend a lot on size of strawberry and how ripe it is. Now, those strawberries, as you lift the cloche, you probably smell the freshness. That's why, for me, this is a summer recipe. If you remember, we did some nice festive recipes at Christmas. So a nice big strawberry.
Hollow it out.
Hollow it out, keep the bottom intact, so you can put a little drop of balsamic in. Now, I can't give you ratios because it depends on how aged or reduced your balsamic vinegar is. So you do need to play with it. But actually, if you've got a punnet of strawberries, play with it, taste it, adjust it before you make the other 12.
But it's almost like a small drizzle, isn't it? It's like a quarter of a teaspoon or something.
Just enough.
Just a hint.
And then I would say the cheese, so Granapadano literally means grainy, so it's the texture of the cheese. I mean, another great aperitif is just chunks of it with honey, like, it's just so good.
Yeah, to be fair, we ate that before we even went live.
I took those chunks off for you to try, you've already eaten them.
Can't help ourselves.
It's so good, it's that nutty, savoury, sort of salty deliciousness. But when you grate it, and Mike said it, it becomes really creamy. And I think what it draws back is where it comes from, so sense of place.
Yep.
So northern Italy, all the lush green grass and all the dairy cows, it just gives you that wonderful dairy hit.
It's genuinely inspirational because I can do that.
I will do that.
And it starts a conversation if you bring that out for people.
I will do that.
Yeah, it's great.
Perfect for a summer barbecue, and it just gets, you're right, people, not just people talking, but people salivating, and then you go back for the drink. Some people are asking what the drinks are. Mike is on Prosecco, Barry and I have got an Aperol Spritz, so that kind of bitter Aperol Campari, you can do it with all sorts of stuff, Prosecco and some soda water. That's what people were spotting.
Well, I would say, and I don't want to speak on your behalf, but the Navy Striped legends approve of your very first dish.
People are trying to guess how many stripes you have between you.
This was
and it's somewhere between 20 and 30 is the average at the moment.
Yeah, we're getting.
We both turned up this morning and went, that's nice.
I like that as well.
We could swap.
We should swap.
On camera.
No. I
Super thanks.
love that. I don't know if I would hollow them out personally. I think I'd chop them up, grate the cheese and the balsamic over and mix a kind of a salad sort of thing.
Oh.
Weirdly, I think we do something very similar on my daughter's weaning board. We always have strawberries, always has cheese on there. Maybe not the balsamic, but the flavours are really familiar. The fact that I've never had them myself
Combined.
is
Nice.
I now feel silly.
Bougie weaning.
Amazing. Right, Baz is going to pop one more. We're going to get rid of that one and put a new dish, the second dish, under the cloche while I look at some of your comments. And Baz just mentioned weaning, and I'm going to draw back to a comment we had last time we went live with Granapadano, and somebody commented that the rinds of Granapadano is great for teething for kids, and it is just something to chew on because the whole outside, we call it the rind, but it's all edible. In fact, we've done them as puffs before, cheese puffs.
Stick them in the microwave.
Put them in the microwave. They make amazing puffs, which is really handy. We got some. We got some birthdays in the comments. We've got people from as far as Australia.
Evers, we turned our backs so that
we didn't
the
see
next dish wasn't revealed, but then it was taken out of that fridge. So
No, you'd have forgotten about that. That's dish number 4 because we like our mise en place. You may now turn around, boys.
Okay.
Everyone's saying a weaning board is bougie. I think it's really important.
after you.
Yes. Big cloche.
Number 2.
Big dish.
Carpaccio?
What have we got?
Carpaccio with a, is that a cheesy gratinated crumb?
Oh, it's like cheese nugs.
Very, very tasty, crunchy bits. Comment down below.
That's amazing.
Can anyone spot what they think it might be? Mike, you might want to grab a couple of forks from your far right.
Oh, yeah.
This is kind of our antipasti, so we're going to move through the courses. We've had a aperitivo moment, we're moving to antipasti.
Oh my gosh.
What have you got under there?
Beef, carpaccio, and a chive?
So is it carpaccio? What's carpaccio?
It's like
Thin
Thinly
slices.
sliced raw beef.
Yeah. So is that sliced? This is Patuta,
Oh yeah.
which literally means
The meal that's
beaten
hard to get.
meat. So it's hand chopped meat, never minced, but hand chopped. And it's kind of the Italian answer to tartar, French beef tartare.
We did this in a episode,
Cooking techniques.
Cooking Techniques, not so long ago. Absolutely incredible.
wow. So what's the process?
So
And what are the flavours?
it's very simple.
Olive
If you think
oil.
about French beef tartare, it often has, or you traditionally would have, things like capers and mustard and Worcestershire sauce and lots of ingredients that are quite powerful, and that amplifies, but sometimes masks the beauty of the beef. This is just beef, so 28-day aged, beautiful beef that's just been chopped up, seasoned, a little bit of olive oil, plenty of chives for the allium, and the bit that I think everyone's going to take away from this is the crumb, and it's 50% grated Granapadano and 50% breadcrumbs.
And then what do you do with it?
You smush it together, and the kind of fats come out of the cheese and the bread into like a crumble. Some bits clump together more than others.
Yeah.
Whack it on a baking tray and through the oven until it goes that colour.
Yes.
And that is a great topping to put on top of all sorts. Yes, we've done it on Patuta because it's Italian, it's a delicious dish, but it could equally go on top of just about any salads.
If anything, this dish makes me very pro-pasty.
I
Think about it, Evers.
don't get it.
Okay.
I do something similar with creating breadcrumbs for pasta dishes.
Yep.
And I have recently been loading it more and more with some hard cheeses. That with Granapadano, with 50-50 as a ratio is bold.
That's fantastic.
I guess that's where you get really thick, almost biscuit-like croutons
Yeah.
rather than flakes.
There's other ways of making it. You can go in with pine nuts, you can go in with just like shavings. I mean, if you've got that cheese there, you've got the shaver. You could just do shavings of the fresh cheese, which is a different texture. But for me, 50-50 with the breadcrumbs and baked off gives you a crunch. It's almost a crumble. It's got some fresh oregano as it bakes, so it's not fresh by the time it's finished. But all leaning into delicious Northern Italian.
Patuta?
Patuta, literally beating your meat.
Great,
and they do it
thank you.
with a knife, so it's hand chopped rather than minced or ground.
Well, I love it, but who at home would do Patuta? Who at home would beat their meat? For that?
Right, now
That's-
you've started.
Because
By show of hands,
Who here would Patuta at home?
I love it when I can trust where the food's come from and the chef who made it. At home, it does. I would be nervous to make it at home.
what are some rules when sourcing the correct cut and meat in order to do this properly?
Well sourced, good welfare, and fresh. So you don't want beef that's on its. I mean, it will have a best before, a use by date if you were to buy beef in the supermarket. Make sure it's not on the last day or two.
So it's
you want
not,
it as
so
fresh.
not aged.
Well, this is 28-day age,
That's
but this
okay,
has
that's
actually
okay.
come from
That's
a
only
high
about
welfare supermarket. So it's the higher end supermarket beef.
And this was this was steak, was it? What cut was it?
A ribeye. And it's got that little combination, sort of bit of marble, but also just deliciousness. And which is why you have to work it quite hard. And then you don't have to chew it much, but you have got the crunch from the topping. Some people are saying this is an anti-pasty, this is pro-pasty. It's now, no, sorry, my point is it's now become a hashtag. You said it, Mike, but it's now become a hashtag.
I don't get it. No, it's been made. That by then.
Now laugh. Thank you.
And an awful lot of Patutas in the comments.
Go!
You absolute bunch of
Which is good.
Patutas.
And you can do similar flavours you'd expect of sort of northern Italy in a Patuta. You could even do like a pesto through it, just some pine nuts and some fresh herbs. But personally, the simplicity of salt, pepper, olive oil, maybe rub the bowl with a bit of raw garlic.
That's a
like
great
don't
shout.
put raw garlic through it, but just enough to give it a slight flavour. For me, the key comes to that salty crunch.
Wow.
Where else would you put that salty crunch?
Mac and cheese.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing wrong with that.
I'm going straight for carb on carb.
Yeah.
I think. Like, it's all, if it's a guilty pleasure, double down and go for it.
I joked about nugs at the beginning, but
Yeah.
I want homemade chicken nuggets with thigh meat coated in that.
With a combination
really
of cheese
naughty.
and breadcrumb as a
Yeah.
coating would be absolutely
Coming to
phenomenal.
pass it on near you.
I actually think, now bear with me here, I think that'd be quite nice for an apple pie.
Cheese and apple. We learned about that in Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not a terrible shout. Going back to our fruit with strawberry, it's a brilliant, like, cheese on top of an apple pie gratinated.
Yeah,
cheese and
striking
apple on a cheese board works. I think that'd be a lovely shout.
Yeah.
At Taste of London, the classic kind of arancini ball, which is like a good, rich risotto that's really cheesy with Granapadano. And the reason Granapadano, I think, is a very good cheese for all those dishes is it's a wonderful all-rounder. Now, it can be minimum 9-month aged. It can then become 12 and 24. We had some left over in the fridge, all that packed up from when we did this in December for some festive ingredients, which means it's like 6 months on from when we had it, and it's still absolutely brilliant. It gets richer and nuttier with age, but for that reason, depending whether it's 9, 12, 24 months, use it in different ways. But I would say that kind of 9, 12 month is an all-rounder, and the arancini, or Danilo did like a carbonara, which he then set in a tureen, cut into chunks, panned and fried. It was unbelievable. But you've just got that really rich, lovely flavour.
What I would say, specifically in this dish, you can taste the quality of the olive oil that's been used.
Yeah, that always helps.
That will make a huge difference. It's one of those, it's almost like, you know, in Pick the Premium, where the premium ingredient is best consumed raw because that's when you taste it in its purest form. It's almost that, in that it's so simple that you can taste every tiny element, and that's why every tiny element is so important. Like the chives, I think, are such an incredible addition to that because they just add something sort of vibrant about it.
And also, looking at it, I'd have gone, too many chives.
Yeah, too many chives, too many chives.
Aside from the salt and olive oil, it's the only real kind of seasoning in the beef mix, and then you've got that hit of oregano and salty cheese. Good job, boys. I'm going to take it away from you so that the rest of us can have a taste once we finish this live.
Shall we swivel?
And we'll get the third dish underneath the cloche. While we go back to the comments, hashtag Patutas is very much there. People saying sprinkled on tomato soup would be epic. It absolutely would.
That's a great shout.
Or even, and that's interesting, on something like a poutine, which normally would have cheese curds. Would normally have cheese curds, but actually could work really nicely on that dish. And yes, it's a North Italian cheese, but the thing with Granapadano is it's the most consumed cheese all over the world, so it's exported all over. So people all over the world can get hold of Granapadano. So if you are in Canada and you're eating poutine, maybe try that little crumble crunch on top of it instead of the classic curds.
Has that stat happened as a result of our partnership with the Mebbers?
Almost certainly. That's what I keep telling ourselves. And John Ruder asking if we can deliver. Unfortunately not, because whilst not all of it is eaten, the moment we go off air, it's
also,
like locusts.
When over the last 15 years have we delivered?
I love our team, but maybe locust wasn't the best analogy. Love you. Right, number 3 is under the cloche. Turn around, lift the cloche.
It's your turn.
In cloche sizes.
I can't get my leg around this bit, so I've got to...
Get your leg around,
yeah,
get your leg
sorry.
over.
Ready?
Yes.
I'm enjoying
Third
this.
course.
Now we're talking real summer. Barbecue time.
Okay,
chicken?
I'm seeing summer barbecue, but I don't understand how cheese is involved.
It's on a sweet, corny, a succotash-y type. Oh no, there's fruit in there as well.
Nothing about this screams cheese.
So, a couple of the comments
sauce?
saying that the last crumble crunch would be lovely on a Caesar salad. This is a slight twist on almost like a Caesar dressing. It's got green olives, it's an emulsion mustard-based sauce, and then loads and loads and loads of Granapadano, which when you blend it in with the oil, the mustard, green olives, which gives it a real savoury brininess, and then the creaminess of that sauce, I hope, yummy, yum, yum. We've served it on a tomato salad with some peaches and some charred corn and some bronze fennel. Because bronze fennel was left over because you wait for Sunday's video. Our guest had no idea what bronze fennel was.
Oh no. I understand exactly what you mean by comparing that sauce to a Caesar salad dressing of sorts. And it almost...
It's not.
I know, it's not nothing. It's giving me the same pleasure of like a silky, almost anchovy-based sauce, because it's got that funk from it, but I'm guessing that's coming from the cheese.
What's one above an emperor? Because it's Caesar, but
it's godlike.
It's a Roman god.
It's Thor.
Caesar is a different era, but sure.
Thunder.
Yeah, you know, same thing.
I mean, Caesar is Caesar's actually a Mexican dish.
Now we know.
So this is not that, but it's a sort of Italian take. And I think you're right. The green olives in it instead of the anchovies. The dressing on the chicken is pretty much just oregano, garlic, oil, salt, pepper. So again, that oregano coming through.
Sorry. Ebbers, just take me through exactly how this was made. I need to hear it.
So, whether you've got a food processor or a pull-through stick blender, you can absolutely do it by hand if you chop everything nice and fine. You're basically making mayonnaise, right? So it's an emulsion of mustard, egg yolk and oil, salt and pepper, but then loads of pureed, hence the pull-through green olives, which are really briny and savoury.
Doesn't taste olivey to me at all, because otherwise I would not.
And a
like it.
surprising amount of Granapadano cheese, which gives that salty creaminess that brings it all
so,
together.
Like, it's emulsification on another level, in that it's so thick. It's not like it's not even like a mayo type dressing. It's so smooth.
I'm getting like carbonara vibes. But but with mustard.
Yep.
It's almost like it feels like it should be enriched with egg yolk, like to make it really like it's.
And hopefully, with the very fresh salad, which is peach, corn, and tomato with bronze fennel, again, very summery, awesome for the barbecue. Only because literally it's a sauce bottle that you can then squeeze on anything. I'm going to put out there. I think it would be lovely in a burger. Again, back to Patuta kind of vibes.
Chips in it.
A really decent barbecue on the grill with some bacon, and then this, because the cheese and the olive in that sauce, so good.
What's the sauce called?
We kind of made it up. So some comments were here, Ben, did you make these dishes? Kush cooked them today, but Kush and I came up with the concept and the idea, and we were like, where else would actually Granapadano not just go, but play a really important role to balance out the dish? And this is where we thought with the olives, it's just a really lovely touch. Because again, northern Italy, you're talking olive groves and stuff like that as well. So what grows together goes together. Sort of Tuscan herbs, but actually Granapadano is made along the Po Valley. So 5 different regions in northern Italy.
It's very rare that we have a sauce that hasn't got a name.
Now is the time.
Does it need a name?
Well, we could name it. We could collectively name it.
Call it Thorth. This is Thorth.
Thorth.
That is the most delicious Thorth I've ever tasted. And it can go on anything.
Stone Energy saying might just dip some crisps in that. I think you'd be bang on. Like that'd be a great suggestion
100%.
Because again you've got that salty crunch.
It's a good salad as well.
It's also a weird salad.
Yeah.
I've got, if I saw some tomato, sweet corn and some peaches in the fridge.
I think we were doing a leftovers challenge. Yeah. Like a scraps challenge.
That's brilliant. That is so refreshing.
It's obviously chicken thigh, because personally I think that's better on a barbecue, but you do you. And I think this would also work with an oily fish, because of that olive and cheese. It's enough to be white meat. I said burger, so actually red meat as well. But also I think an oily fish, not a white fish, but an oily fish I think would also work if you were grilling some trout or something on the barbecue.
If anyone out there, like me, doesn't enjoy the taste of an olive, it adds a salty profile without tasting like olives. Lots of people are like, oh yeah, you don't like olives, but try this tapenade. It's balanced with loads of other stuff. You'll love it. You can still taste olives. We know this. This, you cannot taste the olives. No. It just adds like a seasoning element and almost a creaminess again.
Yeah. Somebody's saying here, could you do it with a kanafa dessert? So the syrups and nuts and that pastry with the cheese. Like, that's a really interesting, I think it would, because it melts really nicely. It's got a graininess to it, and you get a good cheese pull from it. It's not as stringy as some of the other sort of cooked cheeses like a mozzarella, but you get a good cheese pull if you've got plenty of Granapadano inside an arancini ball or inside something that's fried.
It actually works so well because of how well it works with sweet things. So the syrup that they put over the top, and you've got all that crinkly, like the flaky pastry.
We should
Amazing! I completely forgot about that dessert.
Yeah.
That is a great dessert.
We should bottle that sauce.
And Catherine's saying we just call it Ebbers sauce.
Oh,
No.
No, I'm all right. I prefer sauce.
He's got a plinth. What more do you want?
He's got a plinth of the sauce.
He's not getting a plinth and some sauce.
Okay, right. You're done on that, so we can have some skewers when we're wrapped. And we'll get the final dish under, which comes in two parts.
Why?
It's a bit DIY, but the fourth dish is going to be dessert. So we'll get that in and have a look at the comments.
I wonder what it could look like.
Jamie is just snacking cheese behind the screen. He absolutely is.
This feels like it's over too quickly, Ebbers, to be on the last one.
Can we not do 5 rounds?
Yeah, let's do 5. Do 6.
Well, I mean, the beauty is we could always have a cheese board, because I think people often forget that a cheese board can celebrate something like Granapadano. It's been cared for and loved. I think it's a cheese that deserves a cheese board place as well. So you could absolutely put in a 5th one. We have plenty left. As always, there will be cheese for the whole team to take home. Thank you very much, Granapadano.
Standard Ebbers response. What else can we do with this? Put it in Ploughman's. Put it on a
Put it in a plough. If in doubt, put it in a Ploughman's. Right. Boys, turn around.
Oh, double
Lift the
cloche.
small cloche first,
Okay.
and then it's a bit DIY.
Okay,
I love this.
I'll go small.
So what are the balls under? There. There's the balls that we saw from earlier. So
Okay, so some ice
that does
cream.
really solid ice cream, yes.
Is that just straight
It's
out
quite
of the
cold in the
tub?
studio. We did get it out of the freezer at round 2. I think you referenced that.
So this is just going to be grated Granapadano.
And now you can garnish your dessert.
It's cheese ice cream.
It's cheese ice cream.
Cool.
Plus, we've got some caramelised figs. We've got some fresh fig slices. We've got some crispy walnut brittle. And then I think the one that everyone will also take home and add to all sorts of cakes and pavlovas and panna cottas and desserts is a sweet black pepper Granapadano twirl. So you literally grate Granapadano into a non-stick frying pan, scatter with icing sugar, loads of black pepper, and then cook it over a gentle heat until it goes golden and crisp. You might need to flip it, but actually you'll probably see it's more coloured on one side than the other. And then you take it out the pan, and that cheese crisp is sweet, warming from black pepper, and hopefully that alone is delicious. We've also then got cheese ice cream.
This sounds like something that Jamie would attempt on a pass it on round.
Yeah.
And then everyone
Ludicrous.
would sneer at him.
Jenna's stomach's rumbling. Good, good. That's what we like to do. You can't smell or taste this, but if you're rumbling because of the sounds of the discussion, that's good.
You smell it, all you smell is savoury cheese cheese crisp. In taste, oh my god. It starts off sweet and now I'm getting spicy.
I'm getting so... Yeah.
And
right
it's
at the end,
a lot of black pepper.
Oh.
Oh wow.
But at some point, like when you bite it...
Oh wow. Oh wow.
I don't mean to put people off, but it's like your mouth goes, oh, saliva!
Yeah.
And then it just goes, and you can feel your mouth
Gushing. It's like, you know when you get the really, really like
that good.
peppery crisps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, okay, well, it's this.
And your glands
this
go,
right.
That's
Yeah.
it.
I'm ready for ice cream now.
So this is a tweel, is the word I use for all the people confused in the comments. T-U-I-L-L-E. So it's actually a French word, but basically it's a crisp snack. Now normally it's made with egg white and flour, a little bit of butter and sugar, and you can shape it once it comes out of the oven, so you can get wonderful shapes, and then it becomes crisp. You could do this, but actually we've just got big shards, so that you can dress your cheese ice cream, because with the figs...
We haven't even eaten this.
2 types of figs, the walnuts and the thing. Dress your plate so you look like a beautiful dessert, and then we'll get lovely sex of it, and then, yeah, as you wish.
Well, I'll leave this up to you. Oh, yeah, okay, so you're just gonna...
be put on.
Deliberately, we've balled in the middle so that there is plenty of place to dress it. This is a wonderful sharing dessert if you are hosting a barbecue. A big bowl of ice cream. Everyone can add as much caramelised fig, fresh fig slices, some crispy walnut brittle.
Oh, wow.
And I genuinely think the twirls,
got
with
wings.
the sugar and the black pepper, you should all try at home.
Oh, how good. Okay.
How do we do, chef?
I mean, that looks good to me. Would you want to eat it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would if someone told me it's cheese ice cream.
Yeah, what's this ice cream we're eating?
So it's a
my
mascarpone base, but then it has got loads of an egg yolk, obviously, and sugar, and a little bit of vanilla, and then it's got loads of Granapadano melted into it when it's warm. So you warm it up, thicken it into a custard base, melt the cheese in, and then you cool it and churn it. So it is a really dense, almost gelato like consistency.
I think it's beyond gelato.
Yeah, it's really heavy in the fat content. But again, you've got that savoury, salty cheese coming through. Hopefully sweetness of walnut, freshness, fragrance of fig, and a warmth of black pepper with a crunch.
Can you taste cheese?
I can taste funk and salt.
But I'm getting a miso vibe.
Yeah, and yes, but it's that. I say it's as equally savoury as it is sweet for an ice cream. Probably more sweet, but because I'm expecting super sweet, it's surprisingly savoury.
It's it's creamy and sweet. I can't get miso caramelly.
Yeah, it's in the same job as that.
Out my brain
because
now.
it's incredibly
delicious.
umami in that sense. And because of the way it's aged, it has very low, if any, like negligible lactose in it. So if you are lactose intolerant, the cheese works. For a lot of things, I mean, I wouldn't do the ice cream. That's full of dairy. But it works as a twirl that gives you a nice crisp with the sugar and the black pepper.
Cheese ice cream.
And what we learned from the first dish with strawberries, make yourself a strawberry pavlova and stick shards of that black pepper cheese twirl into it. Absolutely delicious. Barry looks like he's in distress. Did he get brain freeze?
For me, it's the. I could see that. In that situation, I'm looking at going, I'm expecting super sweet. And I'm confused in the way. I can imagine that working really well as a cheese sandwich.
An ice cream cheese sandwich.
Exactly. If you could repurpose that into an ice cream sandwich, but an ice cream cheese sandwich.
Almost with like a...
It's kind of what you expected. You could even put, like, you could take that and turn it into a chutney type of thing, and you could have a ploughman's ice cream cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
Right, take those stripes off and go over there.
I'm sorry.
Go and
but it's
stand
like,
on the
Well, you know, like
pedestal.
a raisin and oat cookie.
Yeah.
If you had that, but with like some sort of instead of raisins, you had dried figs and you had the walnuts through it, and that was your cookie base with the ice cream in the middle. I mean, yeah. I mean, we're doing new product development right here.
An ice cream cheese sandwich. I think that could be banging.
This is the type of ice cream I would expect to taste on a really high quality restaurant menu.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things that you go, I don't know how you make that work. But not only do you make it work incredibly.
I can imagine doing that at home and being so scared of going, I don't want to make it too cheesy.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to
or
start.
too sweet, because you'll lose it. 'Cause it's a subtle flavour, but you need quite a lot of it.
Yeah, are you, like, in the ice cream making process, are you spiking it with Granapadano? Or are you
lacing it?
Are you lacing
Yeah,
it?
there's plenty of it, and it
in
melts
the churning
into it
process?
in the melting. So if you're making the custard and you've heated it up, you melt the Granapadano in. And to be fair, you know, it is always a bit of a balancing act because again, you're using the 9-month, the 12-month, the 24, depending on like the quantities you might want to use. But Kush came up to me with a spoon today with that on it and just stuffed it in my mouth.
Oh, that's what it was.
Before I had any idea what I had in my mouth, and it was absolutely delicious. And he was like, "Is that right?" I was like, I mean, you don't need to check with me. You've tasted it. You love it. It's brilliant." And I think that right balance of just delicious, just on the side of sweet, but just on the side of savoury, because of the caramel and the fig and the sugar on the twirl, it pulls it all back together.
What I would say though is that it's still absolutely ice cream. For anyone thinking, oh, it sounds really savoury, it's still ice cream and it's still sweet.
You could eat out of a cone.
It's just almost got equally as much flavour on the savoury side of things as it does the sweet side.
Amazing. Out of the 4, hopefully some new applications. So combining it with strawberry, making it into a crispy breadcrumb crumb, turning it into a sauce with an emulsion and sort of green olives, or as a cheese or a twirl. Did you have a favourite application?
I think the
Comment
sauce,
down below, which one will you be using this summer?
The sauce took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting a sauce from this selection, and I was probably most excited by that one. But this one has got me questioning my taste buds more than all the others.
As a flavour sensation, this one is the most impressive. the most useful, the strawberries.
And the crumb.
And the crumb, and actually the first three are all things that I could attempt and also be pretty confident I could get right after a couple of, you know, messing about with ratios and stuff. So actually genuinely really useful. And I think the biggest thing to take out of this is how well that goes with sweet and fruity profiles, and almost does the job of sort of adding a creamy dimension in the right application. We haven't really done much of that in any of this.
Even just with honey and moving into sweet, but that kind of sweet salty approach is great. But you're right, we've not done it much in desserts, and I think that's a good suggestion. Miranda here saying lemon gelato would be awesome with those twills. Like, you're so right, the black pepper and the savoury sweet twill would be so good. There's so many great comments here, including a couple of super chats, so thank you for those, and some very kind messages. There's one here from Jet Raptor, thank you, much appreciated. They've been watching for ages and love what we do, and it's nice just to see us all hanging out.
For absolute worldies. This isn't a final fake, is it?
No, they're all delicious. They're all good inspiration. And for that reason...
Not even Italian!
Somebody saying the studio must be freezing, the ice cream still hasn't melted. Because it's a mascarpone base, it doesn't really melt as much, but sure, it is pretty chill in here.
It'd be perfect for like a food truck scenario, because of that reason.
That'll go on a cheese board.
Don't give him more, go and stand on his plate. Take that off.
Right, thank you very much. A big thanks, as always, to Granapadano for trusting us to come up with more recipes that are lovely and seasonal. These are some summer flavours that use the cheese. You can check out more from them in the link in the description box. Keep commenting, because we are reading them all. Some comments were saying, who's commenting? It's Jamie. He's literally sat on the stairs commenting back. We're all in this together, and as soon as we go offline, everyone's going to dive in and eat the food that's left.
Yeah, there's not much of it.
Gents, sorry. Thank you very much. We can always pour one more glass and have a drink with the team.
Well done, Ben.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
See you next
Over
one.
now.
Bye.
Thanks. Aperitivo.